representative of PSI Uganda, that's Population Services International.
Right.
But you've told me you're also under the capacity of chairperson of the Uganda Family Planning Consortium, which ideally means the discussion is around family planning and our strides as a country, where we could go. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, and thank you very much.
So let's start with the just concluded International Conference on Family Planning. The theme, when I read it, confused me a bit. It was investing in a lifetime of returns. What did they mean, returns in terms of what the population can do?
Well, basically, it was really focusing on if you invest in family planning, that is a lifetime investment. It means the returns are enormous, both at the population level and also at the economic growth of a country.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So Uganda ended up winning. Explain to me what we won.
Well, Uganda won a leadership award, and that is generally to show the good leadership. And this is really was to the government of Uganda, and we were privileged to have our minister, Honorable General Cheng, receive this award, and it was basically a leadership award in the area of family planning.
Okay, because they said we won because we have significant advancements and extraordinary achievements in family planning. But also, Dr. Dorothy, you and I were just talking about how there are issues, what you call the sticky parts, where we have teenage pregnancy, high numbers. Most of the talk about is how do we teach, how do we give information to young people? Why is it sticky?
Well, that's a very interesting question, and I know, just to expound a bit, is that much as Uganda has made significant strides in family planning, we still have to address the challenges that we have. And I know that Uganda is a country that has one of the highest teenage pregnancies. 1 in every 4 girls one of every 4 girls has a teenage pregnancy. So that is 25% of we have 25% of teenage pregnancy, which is alarming and it's scary.
Yeah.
I know to the lay people, many times they say, why do we focus on only the 25% when we have the 75% who are not pregnant? What we do as public health specialists is we want to prevent those 75% to getting to the 25%.
Yes.
So we know that 25% is of significance. It's really important to ensure that our girls do not get pregnant when they're teenagers.
And I've seen the age, 13, 14.
Oh, yeah.
It's as young as that, is what we're talking about. There was also a discussion about things like our values as Ugandans. Don't open up such discussions. Things like our Christian values. There's a core to which we are, which leads things like unsafe abortions, because certain discussions cannot be had. I'm not quite sure if you can have both the Christian values and a discussion about family planning, Dr. Dorothy.
Oh yes, we can. And I know that many times as public health specialists, we don't need to hide our head in the sand. We need to talk about these things. A human being is sexual. And whether Christian or not Christian, a human being is sexual. And I think the most important thing is to talk about these things, even as a country. And I know that we've emphasized this, that we talk about sexuality right from the household, right from home. We should not avoid talking about sexuality, because human beings are sexual. And I know that even at the country level, it is something that we are trying to balance. What is the balance between the Christian values and what are the country values in terms of offering family planning to young people? And we know that definitely in the work, for example, we do as PSI, we've segmented the young people. All young people are not the same. They don't look the same. There are young people who are in school. There are young people who are out of school. There are young people who are in work, who are working. There are young people who are not working. There are young people who are privileged. There are young people who are less privileged. There are young people who are raised in a society where there is early marriages. So the interventions,
where what you and I are seeing as wrong, their families seeing as the next level.
There are certain there are certain communities where they marry off their girls at 15 years. Yes, it is against the law, but it's happening. So we as public health specialists come in to say, hey, our young people deserve to live a full life. They deserve to live a full life. They should not be pregnant. So what we do is that what we really emphasize is how do we prevent pregnancy in the first place. And I know that as a country, we know that abstinence is our first step. Abstinence is what we want. It's what everyone wishes for the young people. We wish them to abstain. We really do not want our children having sex at an early age. We wish them to abstain. But there are certain situations that cannot be explained, where we find that maybe they are married off or they're having sex. Then they shouldn't be pregnant.
So should that then call for an access to family planning?
Oh yeah, and that's what we're saying, that they should not be pregnant. For example, if we know that a young girl is in a category, maybe is married off. So that young girl really who is married off at 16 should not be pregnant because they are not yet ready to have a pregnancy.
Okay. So I think I understand what Dr. Dorothy is saying, that as they're calling for, yes, we are, as a country, we're standing on the ground that young people should abstain. But we're also in a realistic point where we know there are some situations that can call for access to family planning. In those situations, let's let it happen. Let them have access to family planning. Thank you so much, Dr. Dorothy Balababiansi. Nonetheless, we didn't have enough time, but that's it for Newsnight. We'll take a short break. We'll be back with business news.
Rely on Royal Mabati Uganda Limited for the best roofing solutions. We offer a range of profiles including brick tile, Z-tile matte finish, box profile, Roman long tile matte, and corrugated profile. Our Mabati products are durable and strong. We deliver for free countrywide. Plus, you can pay in installments. We are located along Ginger Road, opposite City Oil Petrol Station. For details, call these numbers.
Coca-Cola presents Queen Shiba live in the Moyo concert.